finals, the periods will be indicated on the
Welcome back to the Onondaga
post,
County War Memorial in Syracuse. Dave Cohen along with John Janiak as we get set to bring you the 1986 championship. This is the 24th year that this tournament has been conducted, and the wrestling people over the years have really had their act together. This is one of the most successful, if not the most successful tournament run on a statewide basis. We're getting set now for action at 91 pounds. And here is the introduction of Troy Bouzakis out of Pine Bush in Middletown. He is an 8th grader representing Section 9, and his opponent will be Jerry Robinson from Ithaca High School out of Section 4, a senior at Ithaca High School, Jerry Robinson.
With a season's record 29-3-0, all but 5 were pins or technical falls.
This will be the first weight class, the 91-pound class, and then we'll jump up to 98 and continue right through to 250.
Should be a great match, Dave. Troy doesn't look like an 8th grader.
91 pounds, Troy Bouzakis, Jerry Robinson. Troy is much shorter than Jerry. Well, not much shorter, but Jerry has got that angular build. Long and lean, but they can be deceptive, right?
Oh, sure. He'll use his leverage as much as possible, Dave.
Here we go. Bouzakis is in the blue. Robinson
with a single leg. He's got a 2-point takedown. Troy throughout the tournament has started out fast and gone in for the pin right away. Starting the finals the same way, Dave.
We've got 2 officials out on the mat. Each official has the red and green wristbands that correspond to the red and green anklets worn by the wrestlers. The home wrestler is Bouzakis in the blue, and he's got the green anklet.
Troy is trying to apply a cradle right now. He's got the head in the ribs. He's going to have to try to take him over his head. They're out of bounds.
Troy Bouzakis undefeated this year. 30 wins, no losses, no draws, and he's leading here 2-0. John, what's likely to happen when you get a man in this position?
Well, several things. Troy's very confident with the new style on top, standing from behind. It's leaning toward the freestyle wrestling in the Olympics.
How new is it?
It's just came into play this year, as a matter of fact. They toyed with it on the college level last year and made it mandatory in the high school level this year.
Bouzakis is in blue, Robinson in red.
Troy shot in for a barrel roll, stopped and changed off to a single leg. It's surprising to see a young wrestler use so many chain wrestling moves, Dave. He misses on one move. Have timeout, looks like an injury.
Holding his head is Jerry Robinson out of Ithaca High School. 29-3 this year, 67-20. He appears to be okay, shook it off. Man in the picture now recently received an award.
Orlando Turco, coach of Ithaca. He's been around for 30 years. Also an official.
There was the injury. It looked like a headbutt from behind.
Certainly did. Didn't seem to bother Troy at all.
Only an 8th grader.
Troy will start on top.
There's the point awarded.
3-4-2, Dave. I'm surprised Troy went back to that position on top. He lost him the first time, too.
Bouzakis is leading. Bouzakis in blue leads 4-2. Robinson got the 1 point for the escape. Now 2 points awarded to Bouzakis.
It'll be 6-2. Excellent on his feet for a young wrestler. 8th grade. Out of bounds.
John, explain the out of bounds.
Well, on most mats, it's a 42-foot mat, Dave, and the out of bounds, all the action has to be within the outer white circle, and that's the only place that points can be scored in high school and college style. In freestyle, points are awarded outside if the move is initiated in the white lines.
He went right off the mat onto the wooden flooring here that's covering the concrete floor. There's no ice down in the War Memorial. What's going through Robinson's head there as he's underneath?
I'll be darned if I know right now, Dave. He's a senior. He's got to start getting offensive. There's a buzzer. The first period's over. He's down 6-2. He's probably telling himself to get off the bottom as fast as possible.
Now the coin flip. Is there an option involved?
Yes, there is. The man that has the heads come up, if he calls heads, has his choice if he wants top, bottom, or this year, a new rule, both men can stand. Or he can waive his option to the other man.
Would he then get the option for the third period?
Yes, he would.
Putting a little more thinking into it, huh?
Sure does. I don't know if the wrestlers really grasp it when they're in the heat of battle, what they really want to do at that point. A lot of coaching, you'll hear the coach yell, "Give him the choice, give him the choice."
By the way, Troy Bazakis got here by defeating Matt Van Heusen of Section 3. Then he beat Scott Sabella of Section 7. And he took Rich Anderson in a pin in 245.
Did not have a close match this whole tournament, Dave.
Jerry Robinson had a bye in the first round, defeated Nelson Coley. Then he took Lance Banfi.
Jerry Robinson also trying to play the cradles, near side cradle, now a far side cradle. Trying to use his leverage.
Still a 6-2 lead for the 8th grader Troy Bazakis. Is the action now a little bit slower than you might expect at this weight class?
For 91 pounds it is. David, I think that's because the top man right now, Jerry, is a leg wrestler and a cradle wrestler. If he was an upper body and throwing arm bars and half Nelsons, it would be a little quicker pace.
Is stamina much of a factor at the lower weights?
It seems these little guys never run out of energy. They just keep going for, it could be an hour-long match. Is where the heavyweights, you never know if they started halfway through the match.
What do you think Robinson's trying to do right now?
He's trying that far side cradle right now, Dave. He's got it locked up, but he can't bring Troy's head and knee together and able him to bring him to his back.
Half a minute to go here in the second period. Still 6-2. Bazakis leading.
Jerry Robinson's going to have to try something new right now, Dave. Troy's just too strong. Being an 8th grader, 14 years old, he seems like he's got the build of a senior. Tries to switch right off the bottom, doesn't get it.
Have we ever had an 8th grader win a state championship?
I don't believe we have, David. I know we had a 9th grader win. This would be a first. And if he wins this year, Dave, he's going to have to repeat 4 in a row.
And nobody's ever gone beyond a 3-time state champion. So we're now to the closing seconds now in the second period, and the score will remain 6-2.
It's a good period for Robinson, but unlike college, he doesn't get a minute riding or a point for a minute riding time. So he's going to have to go to the pin for near falls to get this match close and hopefully win it.
How do you feel about that? The absence of riding time.
Well, it's great if you have the minute riding time and you win the match by it. I think it's good that the wrestlers don't have it, because they would probably just ride on top instead of initiate action and go for the pin.
On deck at 98 pounds, Lou Roselli of Royalton Heartland in Middleport, and Darryl Page out of Elmira, Notre Dame. Darryl Page, a defending champion at 91 pounds. He's moved up to 98. Troy Bazakis in the blue, Jerry Robinson in the red. Final period.
Looks as though that Troy might be a little bit tired in the third period. We're just trying to coast to his 6-2 win right now.
He's only 14 years of age. My goodness, how young do they start him now?
Dave, now they start him in Pee Wee programs at the age of 4 or 5. Not too many years after they learn to walk, they're wrestling. And I'm sure Troy is a product of probably a Pee Wee program there in Section 9. He seems like he has the finesse. He's been wrestling for 10 years.
Work his head and go. Work their head and go.
Jerry Robinson's going to have to make something happen right now.
I bet there's a few college scouts looking on now and just wondering Will the next 4 years go by quickly for this young man?
And you don't know which weight he's going to be at, Dave, either. 2 points for Troy, good takedown.
And now gives him a commanding 8-2 lead with 50 seconds to go in the match.
It's going right up to the half Nelson. Robinson trying to roll through. Stopped by Troy.
Come on, Jerry, 30 seconds. Move. Get up. Move. Make it rush.
Troy's got an arm bar.
Come on.
He's going to run it up over. Nice move. Taking Jerry Robinson to his back. It's up on his toes. Looks good, Dave. He's got at least 2 at this point for near fall.
I hope you got that on film.
Down to 10 seconds to go. Those additional points have yet to be awarded. And here's the applause for the 8th grader, Troy Bazakis.
Super job. He's going to have a great career in high school.
91-pound New York State champion from Middletown, Troy Bazakis.
That's what they work all year for, Dave, right there.
That picture tells the story. He is one happy young man.
And tired.
And tired.
He gave it everything he had.
And the crowd really loves the job turned in by Troy Bazakis.